You ready?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1, flip. Chad Gable not winning a damn thing.
No, that's good. That's good.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the last episode of 2024. This is our Hardcore and the Casual Pro Wrestling podcast. I am joined today by Jake and Tyler. I'm your host, Justin. We're doing our award show today. Look forward to our UFC award show tomorrow. But for right now, we're going to go down our lists, and we're going to give you all of our personalized awards. We're not going to do this like overarching, like Hardcore and the Casual, like here's our list. We're each going to give our individual awards. We have, I think, 11 categories. One of them, yeah, 11 categories. Favorite of the year, event of the year, funniest moment, match, shocking moment. We're going to go through them all.
There, but yeah.
That's fine. If you want to add your own in there, we can do that. But yeah, we have all of our picks right here in front of us. We're going to give them one by one, and stay tuned to see who our Superstar of the Year is at the end of the video. But I think to start off, we should just go straight into it. Favorite of the Year. Who was the personalized favorite of the year? I want Superstar of the Year to kind of be an unobjective thing. Like, obviously, it's going to be one of the top guys. If our favorite guy was Otis, he's obviously not Superstar of the Year, but he can be your favorite of the year. But he's not Superstar of the Year. So favorite of the year is the category where you put in your own personal choice for who you enjoyed the most throughout the year. So if we want to write all of our picks down. All right. 3, 2, 1, flip. I've got Dom Dom. Tyler's got Gunther, and Jake has Seth Rollins.
Dude.
So I think every year I'm going to put Dom Dom as my list for favorite just because he is my favorite wrestler in the WWE. Who? Dom Dom? He's
Gunther's
just...
your favorite?
Yeah, that is weird.
This year?
Yeah.
I'd say he was my favorite this year.
Word.
He
I
wasn't.
got a problem with
He
that.
definitely wasn't like the worst of the year. So
Well,
Randall
he's-
Keith Orton? Blasphemy, though.
yeah, really.
You like Randy Orton.
Can't believe you didn't put Randy.
A lot of
He
sexual,
hasn't really done
a lot of
much this
sexual
year, to be
tension
fair.
between
That-
you and Randall.
he didn't do much, but if you think about it, we spent the whole year making a prop bet to just count his chops.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
he kind of did hold up this channel through a lot of live reactions this year.
Through thick and thin.
And Randy hasn't really done much. I mean, he lost to
No.
Roman, he lost to Logan Paul, he
He's done
lost
some
to
funny-
Gunther
He's
twice.
done some funny things.
Yeah, but and then you for Seth Rollins.
Hell yeah, brother.
Any reasoning behind that? Just
Any reason not to?
yeah, I mean, Seth Rollins
Seth
has been
frickin' Rollins,
he
dude.
has been
Come
a
on
great
now.
character over the past couple of years.
Dude, that man doesn't even have to hold the belt to
He-
be a stud.
he is
And
definitely
he
a top
did
guy.
put the world heavyweight title on a new stage.
Yeah, I mean, he's the one who brought
was-
back the world heavyweight title. He's the one that brought the legitimacy to that belt.
Yeah. Oh, he was a fighting champion, and when he wasn't champ, he was testing his abilities.
And I mean,
Like fighting,
he was there when they
Bronson
needed
Reed.
him. When they needed him because CM Punk fell out and it was going to be Seth versus Punk. They needed him in that main event
Yeah.
for night one. He said yes, even with a bad knee. He said yes to working 2 different nights. He worked the main event of the first night and then
Opened
the show on the second night.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Seth Rollins definitely a good choice.
Stud.
All right, next up, we've got Event of the Year. This one's pretty obvious. Do we even need to write it on the boards, or are we all just going to say Mania 40?
I'm in.
I think we all agree. There's no need to even write it. Jake's still gonna. Yeah, XL.
That's extra large.
That's also
That's
Mania
WrestleMania
40.
XL.
But yes, Mania
play it off.
40.
Play it off like you didn't know.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
Mania 40
I
was
trying to make the
clearly
joke.
the number one of the year. I have my runner-up being Backlash. Backlash was pretty good. A lot of excitement. Jey Uso versus Damian Priest. Cody versus AJ with the shaking of the camera. That's an iconic moment. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing that touched Mania 40 at this point this year, though. Next up, we have funniest moment of the year. Who do we all have for our funniest moment, funniest person, just funniest in general? I have 2 picks, so 3, 2, 1, flip.
I thought about a different one.
R-Truth selling T-shirts. That's a good one. You have
Miz in the Final Testament.
The Miz in the Final Testament. Those have been some funny segments. I put The Rock and R-Truth, so you and me were the same on R-Truth. The Rock running down each town that he went to, calling them cocaine addicted, and
I forgot about that.
those were some
That
of the
was this
funniest.
year?
Yeah, that was this year. That was earlier this year. Those were some of the funniest segments of the year. And then everything
Ah,
our
yeah,
truth
that's-
does.
That's actually
Yeah,
Our
I-
Truth
my pick
selling
as
the
well.
T-shirts out in the parking lot though to make up for the lost
Exactly.
lost revenue though. That was funny.
our truth is always going to be one of the funniest guys. But
When
honestly,
was that? I didn't even see that.
that was earlier on this year. That was like pre WrestleMania.
Oh.
Our truth was definitely one of the funniest people this year, and
it was definitely comedic relief
but
of the year.
But The Rock being able to just go to each town and call them
Fry
Cookie
everybody.
Puss and everything and just fry the crowd.
You cousin
Funniest
fucker.
stuff. Yeah, it's just the funniest stuff, and I think those are really good picks for our funniest of the year. Next up, we have Match of the Year. Match of the Year will be next. Any kind of match. It could have been AEW. We didn't watch much of AEW. We watched one event of AEW this year. If that's on your list, put it. But if not, what are your matches of the year?
There's
of
one
the year.
match I'm
That's
forgetting,
terrible.
dude. It happened recently, and I don't remember what it was. Was it
The War Games match at Survivor Series.
No, not that one. That one was good. What pay-per-view happened after Survivor Series? Was that the last one?
Yeah, that was the last one. I mean, technically Saturday night's main event, but I don't think we're gonna
Nah.
put that. It may be worst event of the year, if that was a category.
One match? Because
I
I
think it was
only
the-
had one match.
You,
so
I put two matches down,
I
but
only
you can
have
put
one.
one. All right, we all got our answers down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
3, 2, 1, flip. Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns, Night 2, WrestleMania 40. I also put Punk versus Drew, Hell in a Cell match. That match was really
It
good.
was close.
Yeah, that was a really good
That was
match.
a
But
good
I
one,
think
too.
the pomp and circumstances of Night 2 WrestleMania with Cody winning, there's John Cena, The Rock, Undertaker.
That's what all the extra wrestlers that came out just
Yeah.
to Cody win.
The best pure match of the year, like one-on-one, no shenanigans, Punk versus Drew, Hell in a Cell. That was probably the best one-on-one match with no shenanigans or anything. But
Yeah, that
overall,
was a good match.
the full
I remember.
picture of thing, Roman and Cody, Night 2. I mean, what else is there to say about it? It's probably going to go down as one of the biggest moments, one of the biggest nights, one of the biggest matches of all time, like, in history. So,
This is a side note, but do you remember how underwhelming that Jimmy versus Jay match was
yeah.
at WrestleMania?
I wish we...
Everybody, I was so hyped for that.
Do
It
we
was
want to
so
put
mid.
least favorite match of the year? I think we're
Yeah,
all going with
yeah.
Jimmy and
It
Jay.
was the most. That
I-
wins most
so-
underwhelming, bro.
Yeah.
The category I added because he had most what was it? Most underrated. I put it most overrated
Yeah, I mean, we could do most overrated, too.
because
I'd probably
that
have to
match
think
would
about
go
that
on
for a
there.
second.
That Jay versus Jimmy, that was overrated.
Yeah,
Without a doubt.
I definitely think that would be the most. I mean, it's
led
not
up to it for
overrated.
so long.
It is rated exactly how it should be. Everyone hates on it, so it's not overrated. It's
Yeah,
just
yeah.
it's rated perfectly because
It
no
was
one
it was
enjoys
underwhelming.
it. So
It didn't
But-
perform the way it was supposed to.
we can move on to our next category now. We will go to shocking moment of the year. So whatever you guys have for your shocking moment of the year, write it down. It doesn't really matter what it is. It's just your personal opinion. You ready?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1, flip. Chad Gable not winning a damn thing.
That's good. That's good.
Drew cashing in early.
And
Oh,
whoever
yeah.
Tiffy Time cashes in on.
And failing.
And then I have Cody Rhodes pinning Roman Reigns. All good picks. For Cody pinning Roman, I know that it was, but it's the context around Roman being champ for 4 years. We didn't know for a fact that Cody was going to win. He
Yeah.
could have been screwed again, and there were a lot of people saying that he was going to be screwed again.
Like that.
It was
My
definitely
thinking of I wasn't gonna be like right on point.
Wait,
like,
what was
like,
yours again? What'd you pick?
Cody pinning Roman.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it
Like
was
I thought about it, but I didn't want to pick the ones that were like right in your face, like for best male superstar. I'm not gonna put Roman down. I'm gonna think about like 2 or 3 other people that did good this year besides Roman because we already know he's been a champ for 4 years.
Yeah.
I'm just saying for this, it's like the context around it being 4 years as champ. No one's been able to pin him.
Is it gonna happen?
Is it going to happen? Do they want to break Hulk Hogan's record? Because if he held on to it for another 2 months, he would have been number 3 on the long list of
Oh, that's right.
like 2 more months. So there was that conversation of will they just hold it off until SummerSlam and Cody wins at SummerSlam or something like that. At the time, the context around it, we didn't know if Cody was definitely going to win. And this was probably the most shocking moment of the year to me was like, finally, they did it. They pulled the trigger. It was so awesome, and I loved it. So shocking moment of the year for me. This right here, that's a one that I didn't think about. Drew McIntyre cashing in early and losing.
Yeah.
He didn't even win. He lost.
Same night. You
That
didn't
was
give
definitely
it 24 hours. You didn't go home, sit down with the briefcase, and think, when?
Yeah. He just took it right away. Lost. Definitely a shocking moment. I think Damian Priest cashing in could have been there too.
Yeah,
Because that was definitely
late.
shocking. There was no lead up, or there was no teasing it. It just happened. It was just Damian came out. So that was pretty. What did you put down
Chad
again?
Gable.
Chad Gable.
Just being screwed every time.
Every time. That was definitely every
didn't
time.
think
What was the
that
one?
one,
What was the
but
one?
yeah.
That's a
match?
good one, too.
What was the one cherry on top? Was it
It was
for
just
the Intercontinental title?
Yeah, it was
match?
just
Against
every match
Sammy?
against Sammy. It was every match against Sammy. They fought 3 times in 3 different pay-per-views, and he lost every time.
Now,
Definitely
Sammy's
shocking.
the perfect opportunity for him.
Because
to
I
take
think
the
we
title.
all put Chad Gable at the time. When we were doing our prediction videos,
Yeah, Chad's got to win.
we all put, okay, Chad's
No,
going to win.
no, I think that's the one I did not take Chad Gable on.
Well,
I think I would
maybe
have taken Sami Zayn over
maybe-
you
Chad
took
Gable.
maybe it
Sammy
wasn't-
at one point. I remember.
maybe it wasn't shocking for you, but it was pretty shocking that Chad Gable didn't win for
I like
Jake and
Chad
I.
Gable.
And
He's
that
underrated.
might be a person you see coming up very soon on my list. So we'll come back to that when it gets back to that. But yeah, all good shocking moments of the year. Next up, we have Return of the Year. It could be a return for one night. It could be a return for a long period of time. Just what was the Return of the Year? What made your juices flow when you saw this person come out?
Don't say it like that.
We all ready?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1, flip.
I wrote it as small as possible.
I wrote it as big as possible.
The Rock.
The Rock, CM Punk, Rhea Ripley, Randy Orton. 2 of those I don't think count.
Why?
CM Punk returned at Survivor Series of 2023. Randy
was that long
Randy
ago?
Orton returned at Survivor Series of 2023. So I don't think either of those count, but Rhea Ripley, she did have a
It
return
was
that one
shocking.
night.
It was on a.
Yeah, it was
regular-
on just a random Raw that we live react. It was the first Raw live reaction that we did. Rhea came out. That was definitely a shocking moment. Got a good number of views for us on the channel too. Go back and watch that episode. But yeah, no, definitely Rhea Ripley. For me and Jake, The Rock. You want to talk about The Rock at all?
Can't stand him.
Yeah, you
You
can't
can't stand
stand.
The Rock.
Where is he?
I know.
But-
I don't like that either. He
Hey,
should be
and
around.
also for runner-up, The Rock. So The Rock came back twice this year. He came back on the January 1st episode, and then he came back again at Bad Blood. Both of those really good returns. I didn't think of Rhea Ripley for that one episode of Raw, but that's a really good pick. I mean, that might have been more. Nah, The Rock's return. Come on, man,
John
Cena. Well, he did come back on Money in the Bank, but he's not technically back
I
yet.
don't care. He's coming back.
He's coming back. Hey, that'll be the
He's
return
gonna
of the
pop,
year.
dude.
When we do this list again next year, that'll probably be my return of the year for 2025.
And we know he's actually staying.
So,
this
yeah,
time.
exactly.
Thank God.
All right.
In. So,
Next up, we've got most underrated of the year. If you want to also put here, we'll put underrated and overrated. We'll do them both at the same time. Jake and I haven't thought of an overrated person, but I'm sure we could think of something off the top of our
I
head
have an
real quick.
overrated event, but
Just put both on this most underrated, most overrated. Clarify though. All right, we're all ready. 3, 2, 1. Chad fucking Gable. Chad Gable is the most underrated wrestler
Finn
of
was
this
good,
year.
too. I didn't
Finn
think about
Balor.
Finn is
that
100% my number one.
that is a
Chad
really good
Gable
pick.
Yeah.
Is my number 2, and then you got Maxine Dupree, Akira Tozawa, Michael Cole, and Otis.
All right, we're all for underrated.
Michael Cole for underrated.
Nah, they're all jokes, but 1, Finn is legit, and 2, Chad is legit.
Yeah,
as a
Finn
runner-up.
Finn Balor definitely one of the most underrated. I think Chad Gable you have to go with because they just kept on fucking this dude all year. Didn't win the IC title, got jobbed out to the Wyatt family or the Wyatt Six, and also did not get his blow off feud with Otis. Criminally underused for the year. His match against Cody on the random SmackDown a couple of weeks ago was phenomenal. Underused. Who did you put down for?
Alpha Fire and Isla Dawn.
That's a good choice too. They showed up, won the tag titles, and haven't been around since.
Didn't they lose them?
Yeah, they lost them.
Lost them.
Yeah.
2 weeks. 2 or 3
Exactly.
weeks later.
And then never came around since. What was your overrated?
Saturday night main event.
Just as a whole.
Yeah,
Most
as a
overrated. That's a good
I
one.
had a buddy who went, and he said in person it was lit. I told him
I'm sure it
watching
was
over
probably
the TV wasn't
yeah.
the greatest. He came back and watched it over the TV. He was like, in person was way better than trying to watch that on the TV.
I mean, everything is better in person. But for most overrated, I have Damian Priest and Nia Jax. I think Damian Priest has been he's been very good.
Boosted.
He has
been a little boosted.
He has been very good compared to what he was. I think that he is slightly overrated. Because there was the leg thing where he got caught up in the ropes when he was doing that thing. He also didn't kick out of that pin from Seth Rollins.
No.
At Money in the Bank. Do you remember that?
No. The failed cash-in.
No. So it was when Damian Priest defended his title against Seth.
Yes.
At Money in the Bank. I think it was the night of the failed cash-in, but it wasn't. He was laying there. The ref counted 1, 2. Damian didn't kick out. And then the music for Drew McIntyre hit 20 seconds later.
It was late.
So,
someone messed up somewhere.
You can and can't blame Damian for some of these things, but I also think that he is slightly overrated, but he has been very good. And then Nia Jax, people have been saying that Nia Jax is a lot better than she used to be. No, she's not. She is the same as she's always been. Just because you aren't screwing up as much anymore doesn't mean you're actually good now.
Wait, hang on. I'm definitely missing somebody else, too, that I tweak on, but I'd like to have a whole segment just on this real quick, because I didn't...
Overrated?
On an overrated, because I forgot we were doing overrated as well. And she's not currently wrestling. She's active, but I've been saying this for a very long time, and I stand on this. Fucking Becky Lynch is fucking overrated as fuck, and I don't care who doesn't like that, but she is the corniest motherfucker. And I know WWE's corny in a lot of ways, but she finds a way to make that shit look professional. She is so corny, in my opinion. That was a hot take, but let's air it out. Let's air it out.
Slightly hot take.
She's so corny.
Microphone.
She's so corny. It's the same shit every time with her to another level. You know, if you're saying that, it's bad because that's WWE.
Yeah.
But in my opinion, she's so corny. It's the same shit every time, and there's just no she's never different. They act like, and she's great, but they act like she's like the best, like number one, clear in the cut, number one. I'm not buying it.
No, if you put Charlotte up
She's
against
not the best.
Becky,
She's not the best female superstar.
I think
in my
Charlotte.
opinion.
I think Charlotte's also overrated. I
would agree too.
I'm putting Charlotte over her.
I would too.
Over Becky.
At least Charlotte's not
you know what?
like corny. It's like the man.
You know what? I have a completely new pick. You've got me down this line. I know we've only been sticking to WWE at this point. Mercedes Moné is the most overrated woman in all of wrestling.
I could see that.
When she was brought into AEW, she was touted as the savior of AEW. It was her and Will Ospreay and Okada were supposed to save the company, and they've only had worse ratings since. The ratings have only gone down. They've only made less money since bringing the three of them in. They have not been the saviors.
Well, that's because you already know she's asking for more money.
Yeah.
That's what Becky was doing, and that's why she hasn't been around like that.
But I don't see... she had a really bad match with Britt Baker. That was kind of Britt's fault. Wasn't really Mercedes Moné's fault, but still, Mercedes Moné is very much overrated, and she has been for a while. Even in WWE, I think she was slightly overrated, honestly. But, okay, now that we've gotten all of our rants out of the way.
One more thing real quick. In the women's department, I feel like Jade's a little underrated. Like, I feel like Jade could be... She hasn't
been used as much.
Yeah, haven't got to see her full potential
I wouldn't say...
yet.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. She's going to, like... I think she's...
But again, she came in and she's a champion right now. So.
Nope, she's not anymore. Naomi is now the tag champs with Bianca. Yeah. Jade is no longer the tag champ with Bianca anymore. Because Jade got like thrown through that car.
Yeah.
Naomi is now defending the tag titles with Bianca. So Naomi has now been promoted to tag champ, and Jade is no longer tag champ.
Just been stripped of it. Like even if Jade comes back.
They're probably gonna do some kind of feud when they come back, where it's gonna be Jade being like, "You stole my tag team partner, you stole my title. We're gonna have to fight." Something's gonna happen. Probably Naomi was the one who attacked her. The WWE storytelling at its finest.
Dude, that Vegas Mania I think is gonna be better than you think.
I'm in.
I think it's gonna be pretty good.
I'm so down.
They go all out.
But all right, I think we can move on now. We've gotten our rants out of the way. Now, rivalry of the year. This is a harder category for me.
Yeah.
I think there have been very, very good rivalries this year. I think there are two that stand out above the rest.
When I thought about storytelling, when I thought about rivalry, I also thought about the storytelling that went with it.
I've got two.
4, actually.
I've got two outstanding rivalries.
I got 2 that are kind of even for myself, and then I got one that's like...
I've got one that's pretty much like an objectively better rivalry, but then I've got one that actually like had me on the edge of my seat the entire time.
Yeah.
3, 2, 1, flip. Jake has Cody versus Roman and Rock, Trump versus Biden, Trump versus Harris, Drew versus Punk.
Great rivalries, dude.
Yeah, great rivalries.
Throwing hands.
You've got Drew versus Punk,
Yeah.
Bloodline / Liv.
Yeah, well, so they're both. It's the bloodline rivalry between each other. It's the Liv and Rhea. Like, I counted them as, like, even.
And then
equal.
what do you have?
Wyatt 6 versus the Final Testament.
Okay, that has been a somewhat entertaining rivalry so far. I have Punk versus Drew and Rock and Roman versus Cody. Mine are pretty basic, but I think they are the two best rivalries of the year.
Yeah, I would agree.
Punk and Drew, I think, is objectively a better rivalry.
Yeah.
They actually were like rivals like throughout the entire year. They hate each other. They can't stand each other. They'll fight anytime that's a rivalry. Roman and Rock versus Cody. It was.
You could
it
say
had
Cody
me on
versus
the
Rock was more
yeah.
of a...
It had me on the edge of my seat on a week-to-week basis. Like, I had to tune in to every single episode to watch what they had to say and what they were going to do. So, objectively, those two rivalries are probably the best of the year. You want to talk anything about yours? I mean, Trump and Biden,
I have the
that
same
has been...
ones you. Well, yeah.
Yeah, that's been one hell of a rivalry over the
been
past
a
couple of
rivalry.
years.
That's
for
just
a
an
while.
unspoken rivalry at this point.
Yeah.
100%.
But, Wyatt 6 versus Final Testament?
I just, based off storytelling, isn't... Because The Miz is the whole reason they are going at each other right now.
Yeah, because the Miz turned on R-Truth, and then they are now having a rivalry over the Miz's soul. Basically, that's what's going on. They're having a rivalry over the Miz. They're trying to absorb his soul into their groups.
Yeah.
It is an ongoing feud, but I mean, it is a interesting feud. They're finally doing something with the Wyatt Six.
Yeah.
So, and then Rhea and Liv. I was last minute gonna put that on the list, but
They've actually injured themselves. Like physically injured themselves, not WWE script.
Yeah.
They've hurt each other in the rivalry.
And I think that has been the longest ongoing rivalry out of any of them.
Yeah, because until Charlotte comes back.
Yeah,
Charlotte's been gone ever since Rhea really took over and won.
Well, Charlotte was here earlier this year.
I know, but I'm saying
she had that stare down moment with Jade Cargill on like the first episode of Raw this year.
that's right, on her debut.
Yeah, so
They saw each other in backstage and
but yeah, I mean these were all good rivalries. I think Final Testament versus Wyatt Six is probably not the greatest rivalry, but I mean
we also haven't seen a whole lot of
it's ongoing.
But again, I wasn't just gonna pick
Yeah, the obvious.
I didn't try and go for the obvious answers.
I know what you mean. All right. Now we're moving up to the categories that really mean something. We're going to do Rookie of the Year. There's a couple choices for this. There's definitely
Only two.
For
There's
me.
really only two.
I'm very much in the favor for one person, but I have two very even runner-ups. 3, 2, 1, flip. Braun Breaker and Jacob Fatu. Braun Breaker and Jacob Fatu. Braun Breaker, Jacob Fatu, and Tiffany Stratton.
Oh.
Neither of you put Tiffany Stratton on your Rookie of the Year list. She debuted this year, and she has done phenomenal. She is one of the best women in the company right now. She has one of the best stories in the company right now. She's got the Money in the Bank briefcase, which means they clearly see big things for her. But far and away, I think Braun Breaker is the Rookie of the Year. I mean, Intercontinental title. He was pushed as not being in the King of the Ring tournament, and he actually got a story out of it. He got a better story not being in the King of the Ring tournament than the guys that were in the King of the Ring tournament.
Yeah.
And then he won the Intercontinental title and has done great work since. Lost to Jay, won it back. Braun Breaker, Rookie of the Year. But Jacob Fatu, he has truly been... He's been the breakout... He's been the breakout star of the year. I mean, in the Bloodline story, he is more relevant than Solo Sikoa.
Yeah.
And I think that goes a long way.
He's more of an enforcer than Solo Sikoa was.
Exactly. And I think Jacob Fatu versus anyone that he has been having stare downs with, Braun Strowman, Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed. I mean,
versus Braun Breaker.
I'm in. Those three people that I had on my list definitely. I mean, Carmelo Hayes debuted this year, but he hasn't done much.
I forgot about.
But he hasn't done anything this year.
No.
So, I mean, out of the guys that have actually done stuff this year, Tiffany, Jacob
three.
Fatu, Braun Breaker, clear-cut winners.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Now, Tag Team of the Year. This is the thinnest category by far. The WWE Tag Team division has been abysmal for the last year. Ever since the Usos split up, and it's just been downhill.
That marker writes nice.
Yeah, it's a brand new marker.
Oh.
How many
right.
more do we have? How many more categories?
Three more.
Word.
2 more after this.
Word.
All right.
You gonna make him act up.
Justin, you like that,
Dude, stop, please. Stop. Please stop, please.
I completely forgot that. Now I'm going to abuse that. I'm just kidding.
No, shut the fuck up.
Tag Team of the Year.
Tag Team of the Year. There have been a lot of good teams that have been on SmackDown, but they have not done much. I know DIY. I know the Motor City Machine Guns. I know Grayson Waller and Austin Theory. They've all been good. They've all been very good. But there is one team that has had me actually care about the tag belts. There's only one that has actually gotten me to the point where I actually care.
What? I think you're forgetting one. I think it's better than who you're...
Well, we'll see, and maybe I'll change my answer when I see yours.
I guess I'll add them two in the top and just little.
Now that I completely forgot, because I wasn't thinking like that, but this is probably, in my opinion, the best tag team.
Are you going to put Rock and Roman?
Nah.
I mean, Rock and Roman might be the best tag
Out
team
of
of the
this
year.
because it's this year's awards, I think this is actually probably the clear-cut favorite, especially because what we were talking about was, I feel like it was a good tag team, but I feel like it was kind of a good by default because there wasn't much competition, but I forgot about this. So I guess
these
see.
aren't long-lived.
All right.
They're my opinion.
I'm in. 3, 2, 1, flip.
Jade and Bianca.
A-Town Down, Awesome Truth, KO and Sammy, Judge Finn Balor and JD. KO and Sammy were not a tag team this year, I don't think.
Did they not dethrone?
That was last year. That was WrestleMania 39 that they dethroned the Usos. Yeah.
Dang.
That was 39. Sami Zayn took on Gunther at this year's Mania. He was Intercontinental the entire year. But R-Truth and The Miz for me.
ESPN has stats wrong then.
Well,
they got to go back and switch some things around.
For me, R-Truth and The Miz were the tag team of the year. They were the only tag team that actually got me to care. But I did not think about the women's tag team titles.
Jade and Bianca.
Maybe that's
I forgot all about them.
It's so OP, dude.
All about them.
Jade and Bianca were definitely up there. I'd put Jade and Bianca and R-Truth and The Miz as my top two.
Honestly, if there was more time, if you added more years into the mix, they probably have the potential to be the best women's tag team ever.
Yeah, I agree.
Two-way tag team.
Yeah, they could
who's gonna beat them when they're primed out? Bianca and Jade Cargill.
I guess that's why they had to take it off of Jade and put it on Naomi so that they could
actually too OP.
They'll have Naomi be the one that gets pinned to lose the titles now.
Yeah. 100%.
JD and Finn though. Jake and I, before you got here, we were literally like, okay, we're gonna avoid JD and Finn at all costs.
Disgrace to the titles. Disrespect to the titles.
They held the titles for 158 days and defended it twice.
Did they really twice?
Twice.
That's the number.
Twice.
What the? Why? That's my point. That's a disrespect to the
half
titles,
the
dude.
year and defended
That's
it
sad.
twice.
And
then you had Seth Rollins.
That's
every
so sad.
fucking week.
Twice?
Yeah, I don't know. I think.
And wait, is that counting the loss?
No, 3 times including the loss.
I
They had
was
2
gonna say.
successful title
I was
defenses.
gonna say that's even worse. They only defended it one time.
Yeah, but
Successfully?
the R-Truth and The Miz were the only team that actually made me care about the tag titles. I did not care about any other team this year other than those two. But Jade and Bianca is definitely a good choice that I did not think about. But we can move up now. We will go to Female Superstar of the Year. Are we ready? 3, 2, 1. Jake has Rhea, Liv, and Tiffy. I have the same exact thing. And Tyler has Chelsea Green, Jade Cargill, and Liv Morgan.
I forgot about Chelsea Green.
Not having Rhea Ripley or Tiffany Stratton on your list is kind of nuts. But I do think Liv Morgan has done a lot of good work.
Wild, I'm not gonna lie.
Liv Morgan has done very good work this year. I think her world title reign has been better than her SmackDown Women's title reign when she
100%,
was like when we went
Yeah.
and we saw her versus Ronda. This is definitely better than that. But Chelsea Green definitely up there. Probably would have been like
One of my
4 or
favorites.
5. I love Chelsea.
I love
only
Chelsea
got it
Green.
for
I
me
love
this
Chelsea
year
Green.
because of the simple fact if she won the first women's United States
Yeah.
title. So.
Yeah, what about what's her name? What's her name from Damage Control?
Io Sky.
No.
Oh.
The one we were talking about the other night.
Dakota Kai.
Yeah. Dakota.
Dude, I like Dakota Kai
She's
too.
underrated.
She's going to be in the finals of the women's Intercontinental title tournament. I hope
what's
you
her
know.
name still going in that? Wait, is that the one that Lyra's in?
Yeah, Lyra,
Lyra's whooping
Io
their ass,
Sky, and Dakota Kai are like the front runners in that tournament. But I have
She's
Rhea.
underrated, Lyra.
Yeah,
She's
Lyra.
underrated.
She was definitely going to be on my underrated list, but
Wasn't she?
she's been injured for like half the year.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say
She's
I
been
thought
out
she
for a
was
while.
I thought she was one of the final 4 who had to go up against Nia Jax.
She was in the Queen of the Ring tournament. I
Was
think
she
she
in
was
the
in the
final
final. I think she was in the final 4. Who did Nia beat?
That-
I think
that-
she beat.
That's what I'm saying.
I think she was in
that's
the
girl.
final.
Okay, yeah.
But Rhea Ripley, I mean, she's had some of the biggest moments of the year.
She had a big return this year.
Big return.
Random.
She's been the focal point of Monday Night Raw's women's division even more than Liv Morgan, arguably. And then there's Tiffy Time. I mean, what have we not already said about Tiffy Time in a previous entry? Tiffy Time is great. Love Tiffy Time.
She would have been on the list if she had cashed in already and won.
Yeah,
That would have definitely helped it for me.
They have been doing this will they, won't they thing with Nia Jax for months. Every pay-per-view, it's the same thing. Oh, I might cash in on Nia. Oh, nope, not going to cash in on Nia. Oh, I might, though. Oh, but I'm not going to cash in on Nia.
And then they were on the same team. So it was like, oh, you're going to cash in on her, but you're going to make us lose the match.
She was on the team with both the world champs and didn't cash in. But yeah, I think those are the top 3. But Chelsea Green, definitely a good pick. Jade Cargill hasn't done much this year, but as a tag team with Bianca, she has done really good work.
I mean, if she didn't get injured and she wrestled the whole year,
her injury was recent. It was only like a month ago that she.
I know. Oh well, yeah.
So she was there for 11 months out of the 12. So it's a good pick.
She wrestled a lot too. It's not like she didn't wrestle that often.
Yeah, I definitely think all of our picks were very good picks. Jake and I had the exact same thing. So.
And that's crazy coming from 2 different people.
We may or may not have had a conversation about it before you got here.
Oh, okay.
But
okay, you told me it was my own opinion. You
yeah,
gave
I
my
mean
opinion,
it is.
so.
It is. But I mean, now that I've
Don't
said,
tell me
Don't be
my
insecure,
opinions can be
Tyler.
Yeah, come on,
Don't be
Tyler.
insecure.
we love
Don't
you,
give a
Tyler.
damn.
You're
We're not
fine.
doing this.
You're
doing
fine.
this.
You're fine.
We're not doing this.
Listen, I know you didn't get approval from your father, and I know you had all this stuff going
That's
on.
crazy.
But
that's actually
It's
that's crazy.
it's you're gonna be okay, bro. You're gonna be okay.
Not working with you two, I won't be.
How you wake up every morning, look in the mirror,
you don't
and
work-
shoot yourself
I
is
don't.
I don't
Tyler,
know, but no, I'm just kidding.
you do not work with me. You work for me. Let's get that corrected.
You were sitting next to me,
yeah.
creating this video, right?
Uh-huh.
We worked together.
Okay. Oh yeah. How many podcasts have you edited, huh? How many have you introed,
We
hosted,
worked
outroed?
together.
Okay.
Jake works with us. We work together.
We are a team.
We make the ship run.
Yes, we are a team. We are a team.
Yes, we are.
The comedian over here and the
The guy that
the
doesn't know
loser.
jack shit, apparently.
the last place, the
You're
casual.
actually the comic relief. Your
Yeah.
shit's funnier than mine.
All right, I think we can move up now. Male superstar of the year, more than likely going to be one of 5 people. I don't think you can put anyone other than one of 5 people. But I mean, it's your own personal opinion. You can put whoever you want. But personally, I'm gonna say it's between Cody, Drew, Punk, Roman, and The Rock.
Fuck you.
If you want to put someone
What?
else, you can. But come on, who else
I'm in.
could it have been?
I'm in,
I
dude.
mean,
I think you're missing out on
I'm
one
in.
person.
I'm in.
we'll see.
Yeah,
then.
yeah.
All right.
I'm in. I'm in.
I think he's missing out on just one person.
I don't know, man. Those are the top guys.
Bro had his career year and is just getting started.
Yes. Exactly.
Ooh, like Logan Paul? What are we talking about here?
He's on my list, but he is definitely not.
He's having a slip.
Logan Paul at SummerSlam when he did that backflip off the ropes, like he did a moonsault out of the ring. That gave me so much respect for Logan Paul. But are we all ready?
Yeah.
All right.
I'm only putting one. I don't even think there should be a runner-up, honestly.
I have a runner-up.
I think he stands alone. There's definitely some runner-ups.
I think this guy stands alone, but there is someone who has kind of been the MVP of the year.
I walk alone.
All right. 3, 2, 1. Flip.
Give me Gunther.
Gunther. All I've been seeing online is that Gunther has had a abysmal title reign. I mean, think about it. Who is he? Name someone who he's feuded with as world champ. He lost to Sami Zayn. And he's feuded with Damian Priest and Randy Orton for one match.
It's something about him just being so legitimately unstoppable, though. Well, he's such a unit.
Were you gonna pick Gunther if I didn't write? Gunther
No, I was. I had Gunther in mind.
For me, it's Cody Rhodes, MVP of the year, and number 2, Drew McIntyre, who has had the best year of his entire career.
Drew's there too.
Drew McIntyre has had the best year of his entire career. He has been. Every time they needed Drew McIntyre, he has stepped up.
Didn't
for them.
Gunther and Drew fight though?
Yeah, but that was before. No, they fought this year, but they fought like before.
It was before Mania because it was before the Priest.
And Gunther waxed that ass though.
But what I'm trying to say is that Cody Rhodes has stepped up as the guy of the company, the John Cena, the replacement to Roman Reigns. I know you're gonna say like, oh, Roman Reigns is irreplaceable, but Cody Rhodes has stepped up as the guy of the company. And Drew McIntyre, whether it was CM Punk going out and they need to bring Drew McIntyre into the world title picture, whether it's after Hell in a Cell when Drew McIntyre was supposed to take a couple of weeks off, but someone got injured, so they had to bring Drew McIntyre back early, and that's why he's been on our screen the past couple of weeks, whether it was him winning Money in the Bank and losing, he has stepped up every single time as the guy. But I can't look past Cody.
I'm going to play devil's advocate on that one because, yeah, you're right about everything you said. But if you're going to use that argument, who has Cody fought? AJ 14 times and Kevin Owens 13 times? Yeah,
but he's also been in the largest feud, the largest everything. He's been the guy of the year. I mean, just look at WrestleMania 40. Without that moment at the end for Cody beating Roman, we wouldn't have been talking about Mania 40 as one of the biggest of all time. It would have just been another Mania. I mean, I feel like Cody winning made the entire year big. It wouldn't have been as special if he didn't win.
I think it gave everybody relief.
I think Gunther's superstar of the year.
I think Cody gave everybody relief that, oh, thank God, Roman's not going to continue to reign supreme.
And Cody has done good work. I mean, people can say he's boring, but the Kevin Owens feud has been good.
He hasn't done bad work. He's not sloppy.
No, and he has had the company put on his back, and he has ran with it. I mean, you could say that he's had not very entertaining matches, but he has been the guy of the company over the past year. Because without Roman around, who does it fall to? It falls to Cody. No, it does not fall to Seth. Seth's been out most of the year. Seth's been out most of the year. He left from Mania all the way through to Money in the Bank, and then he left again from Money in the Bank all the way through to Bad Blood, and then he left again all the way until 2 weeks ago. Seth's had 4 matches this year in total. So I don't think you can even have Seth as one of the superstars of the year because he really hasn't been around most of the year. And Sami Zayn, I see on your list. Who else? Logan, Damian. Yeah. Damian, I had my as overrated. I don't think Damian belongs on this list.
I don't think Logan should even crack top 10.
Yeah, Logan, I don't know. Sami Zayn has been a good star this year. Sammy's up there. He's been doing good. I mean, his run with the Intercontinental title, not losing to Chad.
What about Jey Uso? Is he in the conversation?
Jey Uso, yes. I believe Jey Uso top 5 for Superstars of the Year. He's done great work this year.
Like a motherfucker.
Good, but name me a good Gunther match from this year.
A good Gunther match?
I think he was just.
I thought the Gunther. I personally like the Gunther Randy Orton feud.
I thought it wasn't really a feud. It was 2 weeks.
I know it was too short, but I liked it, and
it was. Gunther went from fighting Damian Priest. He fought Randy Orton for 2 weeks. Then he went back to Damian Priest for the last 4 months.
Yeah.
and every single time Damian and Gunther have had a match, Finn Balor has interfered.
Who else has Gunther fought?
No one.
No,
I mean, Sami Zayn on Raw.
No, even when he had his IC title, who did he ever feud with at any point? Like, who did he beat?
Exactly.
No, I'm asking.
No,
you.
I don't. I can't tell you. I mean,
Right, well,
Chad Gable.
But you can't. But I understand your point. But like, you have to pick from other parts of the tree because it's the same thing.
So
I
you're
understand
telling me
Cody
that
carried the company, but you both have two people right now, and that's it.
So you're telling
So
me
it's the same
that
thing almost.
you're telling me that Gunther has been more important to the company than Cody over the past year?
No, I didn't say that. But we're saying superstar of the year.
Yeah, that's the most important guy to the company. That's like who's been the guy for the company.
That's
the
not
superstar
how I view
of
it,
the
though.
year.
I view superstar of the year who's exploded the most, who's up there, not necessarily the best, but like right there in the top 5, and is popping off and is like exploding, like superstar of the year.
To me,
Because like if you're going with best,
because
obviously it's Cody.
every
He's the
every
most important
Gunther
champ. He's
match,
carrying the
every
company, yeah.
Gunther match against Damian Priest has ended in Finn Balor interference.
I don't know.
Every
I just feel
one
like
of
the
them.
power that Gunther's taken over with he just wears basic. His attire's basic. He's not like this crazy on the mic. He's just a basic German. Like when I first saw him, I was like, why is this guy champ? Like he's mid, but
I didn't like
he's
him at
taken
first when he
that.
first came
He's
in.
taken
As a
that, and he's
single-
gone.
That's-
He's gone all the way up somehow.
That is so crazy because the
Like the aura Gunther has
Do you
is
not
crazy.
think this
No,
year was a better
let me-
year for him than last year?
No, I think it is much worse, and that's what I was about to say. The objective opinion that I've been seeing from the wrestling community has been saying that this is a worse year for Gunther than last year. That his Intercontinental title reign was much, much better
It is
than his
better.
world
But
title
that was
reign.
this year too.
Well, it was at the beginning of the year, and I
Yeah,
mean, he
but
didn't do much
still
between
for 2-3
January
months.
and WrestleMania. He fought Chad Gable like twice, beat him, and then lost to Sammy.
I still carry that.
Disappeared for like 2 months, won the King of the Ring in a botched match against Randy Orton, and then went on,
Would you say
beat
that
Damian.
Gunther could win Superstar of the Year last year?
Probably not, because last year Roman Reigns was probably Superstar of the Year.
Yeah, second. Would
Or-
he be
or
runner-up?
Seth was
Do you think he
superstar.
could be second or third?
Probably third last year. But
Okay.
I think the consensus that, I mean, this is our own personal lists, but I think the consensus of the wrestling community has been that this has been a bad year for Gunther. Which is odd that you guys think that this is a better year for Gunther than
That's 'cause
last
they
year.
wrote it that
I don't
way.
really remember.
It's like saying Finn
hearing
Balor's
too
an
much
ass
about
superstar,
Gunther
but they
last
fucking
year,
have
though.
ruined him for 5 years.
Yeah,
I
but
feel
I'm.
like Gunther's
I guess
more
you have to-
talked
you have to
about.
Last
like,
year-
he's
into the
more in the
context, too.
headlines this year.
But the thing is, last year Gunther was the guy that no one could touch him. Like he
Yeah.
won all of his matches decisively. He was good on the mic. He was the untouchable guy, and now his world title reign has been like the opposite. It's been like he's been questioning himself on Monday Night Raw. He's been like questioning whether he's still that guy, whether he's still the ring general. He's been questioning whether he could even beat Damian Priest in a match. Dominic Mysterio almost beat him on a random Monday Night Raw. I don't know. It's been for me, Gunther has fallen off a little bit from last year. But that's just my personal opinion. If you guys have liked Gunther over the past year, that's fine. I just find it odd that the wrestling consensus of like the IWC, the International Wrestling Community, has been that Gunther has fallen off a little bit this year.
He definitely
But
has
you
taken a
guys
dip.
think the exact opposite.
No, I think he's taking a slight dip.
I
Yeah,
also
because his
wasn't
IC
going
title
with the
reign
straight
obviously was
shot
better.
answers. None of my.
Because I think objectively, Cody and Drew have been the top guys of the company this year. They've been the guys to put the company on their back and kind of been there at every single point. And
Drew's
like,
also willing to do anything.
Exactly.
To win a title at this point, so
I feel like it's weak. This title run's weak because they're just trying to like force it, and I think Triple H has Gunther going for that big title soon.
because
Like in a year or
for
two,
me,
Gunther will be WWE
Gunther
champion,
has
I
been
think.
for me the Gunther has been the background of the Damian Priest Finn Balor story. He hasn't been the main
like
focus.
a thorn in their side.
He's been quiet.
He's like Damian Priest has been fighting Gunther, but every single match has been Finn Balor interference. So every single Gunther match against Damian Priest has just been to set up Damian Priest versus Finn. That's how I look at it as. It's like,
terrible fucking hiccups.
well, we're almost done here, but Gunther
Got a lot of editing to do.
Gunther has definitely been a good champion. I don't think he has been a bad champion by any stretch of the imagination. I just think that his Intercontinental title reign last year surpasses what he's done with the world title so far, but he's still got time. This year he could take on John Cena for the title and have like the best match at Mania and completely change my mind about him for next year. But I just think from an objective standpoint, Cody Rhodes and Drew McIntyre are probably the superstars of the year. But not everyone likes Cody Rhodes, and not everyone thinks that Drew McIntyre has had the best year. Even though personally, I think this has been the best year of Drew.
I forgot all about
Drew's a runner-up for me.
Yeah, I think he's had the best year of his career. Because the last best year of Drew's career
I'm telling you.
was during COVID.
They're getting bad. Yeah, when he won the title.
But that was during COVID.
Yeah, exactly.
So you got to take that into consideration. So this year has been a very good year for Drew. But now that Tyler's dealing with his hiccups, I think it's time to go. We've went through all of our categories. Thank you.
They're so bad.
Thank you guys for watching the Hardcore and the Casual podcast. Shut the fuck up, dude. I'm trying to do...
One more belly twitch, I'm going to punch you in the face. No.
Thank you guys for watching the Hardcore and the Casual Pro Wrestling podcast. This year, we have a very special video coming out to you guys on January 1st.
Yeah.
Please stay tuned to that. Battle for the Bank. When you see the thumbnail, you click on it. It'll be a very good video. We've already watched it. I'm posting it on the 1st. Please stay tuned to that. If you guys like the UFC, we have a UFC award show we're going to have out tomorrow. Please stay tuned for that. And thank you guys for a wonderful 2024. It has been a great year. Thank you guys for staying tuned for this podcast. Big thanks from both of you guys, I assume.
Thank you for letting me show up.
Yes, sir.
Hell yeah.
Showing up 45 minutes late every time, but it's
Yeah,
cool.
it's cool. It's cool. It's totally said that we were going to record at 5 o'clock, and it is now 7:18.
The job got done.
It's okay. Job got done. Job got done.
Got done.
Thank you guys, and peace out.